Hey everybody, it's Paul from Alexandria Knife Sharpening and Laser Engraving. I'm hoping I can get this in without too much interruption. There is an incredibly loud noise of guys cutting down trees right behind me. The neighbors across the street and the electric company has been cutting and chopping and chipping trees all day. I have chainsaws going, so if you hear any noise in the background, I apologize for that. But I did want to show you this because this is something that I occasionally get, but it's not super common. I do like to sharpen things like this when they come in. They're relatively easy to do usually, and this is something you don't often see me doing. In fact, it's probably the first time that I've ever shown it because there's not a whole lot of things that I will use these for. Occasionally some chisels, rarely knives, but every once in a while I will pull these out. But here's a perfect example of it. So I got in these very cool blades for some type of a mixer that's used by this restaurant, and they would like these sharpened. So I flipped them over. I wanted to take a look at the condition of the blade, which I could see some little wear marks, and I could see that one of them had a couple of marks in it, a couple like dings right here. Nothing crazy bad, but it definitely had some marks. So I want to show you how I'm going to go about sharpening these, and it's going to be really simple. You don't need any special techniques. You don't need any special skills because we're sharpening a flat blade on a flat surface, and we just need to do it, get it done, and then move on. So here's what I'm going to do. I have a couple things here I want to show you. So this is a diamond flattening stone, but it can also be used for some very rough sharpening if you need to. But it can be wet, and it's basically made for flattening Japanese stones. Over here, I have some sharpened glass stones. Now, a lot of people get confused. I've had people ask me like, oh, they're made of glass. It's actually not. The stone isn't made of glass. It's that it's attached to a glass piece. So someone actually asked me like, oh, how do they make the glass an abrasive? The glass isn't an abrasive. It's just, the abrasive is just attached to, you can see here, this piece of glass. I have a 3-stone set here. So this is a 500, a 2000. This isn't anything right here. Sorry. That's just the base of it. This is the a 2000. And then right here we have a 16,000 grit. So I have 3 of these stones. Now, if you use these a lot and they become uneven and not flat, that's when you would use a flattening stone. And that's what this is for. So I could put this on here, rub my stone across it, and it will reflatten this perfectly. So I'm dealing with a perfectly flat stone. This is also a very good aggressive abrasive to start with if you need to on certain things. This here is just the sharpened glass holder. So this is a nice little set that you can get from them. It will store 3 stones right in this holder, just like so. Okay? But then when you need to use it, what you do is you take your stones out, you flip it over, and it will kind of squeeze right into the top. And this gives me a place to work on and sharpen something, whether it be a knife or whatever it is that I'm sharpening. So I just wanted to show you that. Very nice set. I know Sharpening Glass has 2 similar sets to this one right here, but these are fantastic. So I will put all of these in the description of the video in case you're interested in anything like that. But I'm going to show you quickly what I'm going to do here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to wet this right here with some water, or in my situation here, I'm going to use a tiny bit of Hone-Right Gold. So I keep Hone-Right Gold mixed up. I use it with my TS Prof units when I'm using diamond stones, and it's just a honing solution. It helps keep the metal from embedding into your abrasives and it also keeps them from rusting if there's any fear of that. You can use water, but I always like to use Hone Right Gold. I just find it a little bit safer. You don't need a ton, just a little bit on here. And basically, I'm going to start on here. Now, another thing you can do if you want to know when you've removed enough, you can use like the Sharpie trick. No reason why you can't. You can mark the entire bottom part of this blade to make sure you're getting any areas that you're staying nice and flat and that you've removed enough metal from this blender blade. So I'm just going to get right up here and I'm going to go right on my abrasive. Nice and simple. And then I'm going to take a look, and it's looking pretty good, and everything's looking nice and even. So I'm just going to continue with this. This is my roughest stone, and I am just looking to remove any major imperfections. Now, I'm noticing I'm getting almost everything gone here, a little bit here. This one right here looks like it needs a little bit more work. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to apply a little bit of more pressure with my finger on that side. I'm still staying flat. I'm just adding a little bit of finger pressure. And you can see we're almost completely removed there. We got a little bit there. So this was the biggest one that had maybe a little bit of striations in it, an area that might have needed a little bit more grinding. Okay, we're just going to keep going here. And now I'm seeing some of the black coming off. And we should be really, really close. We are. I still have a little bit here. So all of these are really close to being even. This one's got a couple little marks on it. And this one here. And that's not uncommon. You might have one side that just needs a little bit more work. Might have been a little bit uneven from before. Like I said, I'm just going to take that side and I'm just going to apply a slight bit more pressure. And you can see all my black's gone there now. This is the only one around here on the total opposite of this one where I'm seeing a couple marks still in there. So same thing here. I'm just going to take my Hone Right Gold, add a little bit new, and I'm just going to a little bit of finger pressure. And that's good. Nice and clean. All the little marks are gone. There's no little chips or dings or marks. I'm going to just put this to the side for now. And you can even feel, even with this diamond abrasive, I can feel it's got a nice little edge there. A little bit of a burr started. Now I'm going to go right to my other one. And I'm going to do the same thing. This blade's a lot cleaner, but I do have one here with two little marks. And same here, the opposite side, two little marks. Only one left here. There's still two tiny little marks there, so just a little bit more. That probably did it. It did. Completely clean now. We got nice marks there. Everything's good to go. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean this rough stone off here. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a rinsing here. Because I don't want that stuff to get stuck in here. Like I said, this is my flattening stone, but you can use it for other things. It's very strong. It's diamond stone, and even though its general purpose is for flattening other abrasives, you can use it as an abrasive too. There's no reason you can't. This is a great flattening stone, and like I said, I'll show you. I'll leave the link to it in the description for those of you that might be interested. It's nice and heavy too. This is a sharp nail, and this is 220 grit, in case you were wondering that too. And I'm going to grab my first sharpened glass. This is 500 grit. I'm going to grab just a little bit of water here. I'm not worried about using the Hone-Right Gold on these stones. And now I'm also going to try and keep a consistent pattern of marks. So this is my 500. Looking good. You can see the metal coming off. And that looks real nice. So I'm just going to put that to the side and grab my other one. And then same thing here. I want to keep a consistent grain pattern going here. This looks good. And that looks great. Okay, I'm going to take my 500 out. I'm going to tip it. And I'm just giving it a quick clean off here. Just want to get any loose metal pieces off of there. And then I will let these dry. But Sharpening glass stones just need a tiny bit of water. You can, I believe you can do it dry too. I think that's fine. I do prefer using a little bit of lubrication with just regular water. That's how I do it. Okay, we're going to grab our next stone. 2000. I'm going to rinse off that metal. Quick little wipe down, and this one is done. Now, 16,000. Now, when you go to 16,000 grit, you don't have to worry about honing, really, in my opinion. So I'm not going to take these to any type of leather or strop or anything like that. If we sharpen something or bring it up to 16,000 grit like we're doing with these, that's plenty. These are not going to need anything else done to them. All right, just checking my grain pattern on the blade, making sure I'm still sticking with the up and back. And these should look amazing when done here. Okay. And let me give you kind of a close look there at the bottom of that blade. See how beautiful those are? And you can feel that edge. They feel good. And that's not going to need anything else. So same thing here. I'm just cleaning this one off from before. All right. And these mixer blades are done. All the chips are gone. They look nice and new, nice and shiny. Sharpened very closely up to 16,000 grit. They're probably not quite there. I mean, I would have had to spend probably more time on them. We can still see some of the lines in there, but very close to a 16,000 grit finish. And these are generally kind of a self-honing thing when you're dealing with blades, with like mixer blades. So we don't really have to get too crazy with that. All right, and those are done. So I'm going to show you that. And again, I'm just going to clean this off so it's ready for the next time I need to grab it. And the important thing here is, you know, if you're using flat stones, is to keep them flat. And that's why that first stone that I showed you is very important. A lot of people don't flatten their stones. And as you sharpen, you're going to get uneven spots. You know, and I didn't show it. I'm going to show you here real quickly. The one way you detect that, okay, and how you would use this right here, so this flattening stone, what you do, so if you start detecting or thinking that your sharpening stone is not even, take a pencil and draw lines right across your stone. Then take your stone out and flatten it on your flattening stone and look for any uneven areas and remove it until you get all those pencil marks off, and that's how you know that you flattened your stone properly. Very simple to do. That's all you got to do if you start thinking that an abrasive that you're using is not flat anymore. And this is great for all kinds of things. Also, TS Profs, if you're using alpha stones, if you use your alpha stones a whole lot, they could get uneven. So that's why I have these, because if I have to flatten an alpha stone, I'm going to take it to this right here. That's going to be what I use to flatten an alpha stone. All right, hope that helps some of you guys out, and I will talk to you all soon.